So, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam No Atmanam Avsadayet. Uddharet Atmana Atmanam. Seeker. The meaning of the first verse is that the seeker, first line of this verse is that the seeker lifts himself by his own intellect. But if the intellect is pure, then only he can lift. Natmanam, no atmanam avsadayet. Seeker never degrades or depresses himself by his mind. Look at the verse. Great Master Krishna. Atma aiv hi atmanah bandhu, atma aiv ripuh atmanah. What a great verse, I remember. So what we were talking about, Lara, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam. The seeker lifts himself by his own intellect, means knowledge in the intellect. The seeker never degrades or depresses himself or herself by his mind, by indulgence, by going into the likes and dislikes, I hate you, I love you. Is that our business in life? Now I can say you all are seekers. So it is coming from Krishna in the Gita. Seeker lifts himself by his intellect. Intellect means the knowledge. And we all are human beings. We can easily get knowledge. The seeker never degrades and depresses himself or herself by his own mind. That mind is running after likes, dislikes, duality, conflict. It can happen here in your family, with a family member, with a stranger, with a student, with anyone. Not. So then the master concludes, the mind or the intellect, mind is the friend of the real self, and the mind is the greatest enemy. There is no other enemy in this world that we think of. We are our own enemy. We are our own friend. You have heard the gossip from me. Then mind says, I'm too busy. I just had an one session, private session. So she said, I was very busy. That is why I did not listen to your lesson. Don't listen. That's your problem. I will continue to speak of it. My job is that I will continue to inspire you. You see that? So now see, you are doing a private session. You are paying some money. So it's okay. I will continue to inspire you. That is my job. That is my profession, without any likes or dislikes. So when you keep that knowledge in the intellect, and that knowledge should be realized by doing karma in day-to-day life. Means the knowledge must transform into karma yoga. If it is not transforming, then we are not. Then you may say, oh, this beard guy is good, he talks good. That's all. I know that guy. Nothing is going to happen. Unless The knowledge can be realized, should be realized, must be realized by putting that knowledge into action. You go to a place, the mind is pushing you. I hate this guy. Let the knowledge crush that dislike and hate. You see, mind is the greatest enemy and mind is the greatest friend. That is the application. So if the knowledge is not transformed into karma yoga, you listen to even the enlightened Buddha, nothing is going to happen in our life. We are here to bring about a change. Our goal is awakening, goal is permanent peace and happiness. Understand, this is what the Krishna is saying. I can lift myself only by my own intellect. There is nothing that can lift me. What is the most you can say? Oh, he has an inspiring talk. After that, the inspiration goes away because the knowledge is not present in the intellect. But why the knowledge is not present in the intellect? Because my mind degrades me. How my mind degrades me? By likes and dislikes, by hate and love, by being so busy in life. How long you have been busy and what did you get by being busy? Ask yourself. What did you get? Today you get $5,000, maybe tomorrow you are more busy, you may get $6,000, and next day you are over busy but you get only 1 penny. That is not under your control. Do you see that? If you realize that, it means we are a seeker. And the seeker, I told you, always succeeds. So that is the journey we are undertaking. And we are understanding these fourfold practices, which are basically, there are 9 steps. First step, viveka, discernment. Discernment, knowledge, right knowledge, clarity. Once I have a clarity that this like and dislike is happening in the mind because I am not thinking, I am not moving into the right knowledge. There is a natural dispassion. What I have to do with the like and dislike? Say to the example, I say, Krishna, I hate you. Now let me ask myself what it means to me, what it benefit will me. Nothing. Wrong notion. So when you practice discernment, the dispassion is natural. Leave everything. Leave all this stuff. What will happen? The mind that has been distracted, wandering mind, it will stop. Then comes our 6 treasures. The first, then Master says, in that state of dispassion, you practice for even 5 minutes, you are totally relaxed. But then we have to work on how the likes and dislike is working. Dhamma, sensory control, we discussed. Uparati, throw likes and dislikes. Titiksha, endurance. The 4 treasures we have done. And now comes the Shraddha. So something we did it for the Shraddha. So Shraddha. So we came to that point of discussion that this Shraddha or faith or belief is belief in the principles of Eastern wisdom and applying it in daily life, the teachings of these great masters, which is passed on by this crazy teacher. Simple. I'm only passing on that knowledge. I don't know anything. I'm very 100% clear. But then there is an element of blind faith. No way the blind faith should rule my journey of meditation and yoga. Take an example. I see God in meditation. I told you a couple of times in New Jersey, she was wonderful, extremely intelligent. So you see what happens and find out which of the 9 practices was absent in him. So he said that I see God. I don't want to name that name of the God. I see God every day when I sit in meditation. And then I said, why you have come to me? What is the need? Communicate with the God. I have lot of stress. I said, talk to your God to release your stress. Let the God release your stress. No, you don't understand. When I sit in meditation, that God appears before me and then I start talking. I never say you are hallucinated. So like this, we have in different practices of meditation, we have hundreds of hallucinations. What are they? Wrong notion, delusion. We have to get rid of this. Without testing, with the knowledge and the teachings of these masters, never get carried away by these blind faith. It will destroy you. It will cause more stress. Today I see God, tomorrow I don't see. There is a problem. So what is the goal? I realize my real self. It is always with me. It cannot be taken away. What I see, I may see today, I may not see tomorrow. And if I don't see, then my meditation fails. But meditation does not depend on anything that is separate from you. It is you that needs to be understood clearly. Blind faith. And that has gone into my head so deeply. Once I have been learning from my master. I learned from many masters, almost 100 teachers. So perhaps maybe Ashok might be aware, but so it's a real life story. I don't want to name that teacher who has almost 70 million followers in the world, in all countries of the world. He comes from India. Great master. So it happened that I invited him for a conference because I was working in a federal government, so everyone wants some kind of a recognition. So he came, and then after a month he invited me. So I and my honeybee, we both went there. I'm talking about blind faith. Your intellect must be 100% clear about this knowledge. So he sent me the air ticket. I went there. It took about 2 hours flight to a destination. So one Britisher who was a great disciple of this master came to me and said, he started talking. So during the conversation, he said, do you see that this guru is a reincarnation of his own master? And he gave me a very good story. So for 3 days, he was always talking. I said, quite intelligent. And I asked him what previously you used to do. No, I was a scientist. So you can say intelligence level. Definitely. It must be much more than me, at least I could see. So on the 4th day, when I became totally bored of listening this story that my guru is a reincarnation of his own master. So the 4th day when he came, I said, don't talk. Now I'm going to talk to you. Do you know who I am? No. My guru said that you are very wise. You learnt all these teachings under the feet of a master. So that's why he want to make you an head of Australia unit. You can think of 70 million followers. Ashok can get it. He also went, he asked me that, can I go? I said, go there. So that master allowed all my students there. I said, no, now you have to listen to me. So he said, okay. He said, you don't recognize me. I am also the reincarnation of the master of your guru. How it is possible? I said, how it is possible that your master is a reincarnation of his own master? Who told you? Do you have any testimony? Can you explain to me? No, he told me. I said, I'm telling you. But I told you a little less. Basically, I'm a reincarnation of Shiva. He got so upset. Blind belief. Ultimately, on the 4th day, he invited. Then he asked me. I told everyone. So he told me, can you go to Australia? I said, I'm ready. So you are sure what you teach, I can teach? Yes, he smiled. I said, but do you give me a freedom to teach what I know, besides what you teach? So he has a bigger smile. I said, no, I'm not going there. Not interested. Understand that knowledge is supreme in Eastern wisdom. Knowledge of the real self, knowledge of the reality. So a seeker believes, trusts, knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, the teachings of the great masters, pending inquiry. Why pending inquiry? I have to realize the same state. So many of my students, he is a great teacher. You met him. Can you send me? I said, I just sent a letter, and he accepted all my students. Because he was looking for 71 million followers. But this knowledge, this understanding, I received from my master. He was always hammering the head. No, you have to understand this. Be 100% clear. Faith is neither submission nor surrender. You have to lose your identity created by the wrong notions, so that your mind merges into the real self. That is what about the faith, my friend. Once you have that faith, and from where I started, now see that Krishna, the master, says what the Krishna says. What he says, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam. Seeker. If you are a seeker, you all are seekers. A seeker lifts himself by his knowledge from the teachings of the masters. First line. He never, or the seeker never degrades. Christina, are you listening? Yes, she is wonderful. So, seeker never degrades and depresses himself or herself by the mind. 10 years ago, I had this stress and I recall this. What am I doing? Am I a human being? Then the master says this mind is the greatest enemy, and the mind is the greatest friend. We have to make this mind greatest friend. If you don't make it, nothing is going to happen. Belief. It is the fifth treasure. You see that how the masters are teaching, they taught us discernment, clarity, dispassion, relaxation, sensory control, replacing the habit, and ultimately endurance. And then when the intellect and the mind is so much pure, then he says, now you have to have a belief. You have already learned. You are already undergone a change. Your behavior has changed. Your attitude is changing by applying these principles. So belief here is what? That is why we say Upanishads, one complete group of text. Second group of text is Gita. Third group of the text is Sutra. They are absolute knowledge. We should question our intellect how to understand this principle rather than refusing or rejecting this principle. Will you reject this principle by likes and dislikes? It's okay. It's a part of the life. It is possible to reject and accept knowledge from outside. Which watch is more precious? You can reject one, you can accept one. But we are talking of the real self. We are talking of the permanent peace and happiness. We are talking of our own existence. So Eastern wisdom, knowledge must be followed with the belief. But inquiry continues. Why inquiry continues? You are doing the practice to reach to that state. That is what again Krishna says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The person, the seeker who has a tremendous faith, here he is saying tremendous faith in yourself. What is that? Yourself is the real self. Real self is permanent peace and happiness, pending inquiry and the practice. So what maximum will happen? What maximum will happen? If there is no real self, if there is no permanent peace and happiness, still you are benefited. Look at it. My Guruji used to say, still you are benefited. My master, my Guruji used to say, I'm not teaching you to become crazy, run after, continue with the likes and dislikes, manage your anxiety. I'm teaching you what is absolute knowledge. So what maximum will happen? Even while listening, you feel good. Doing the practice, you may feel good. That is the belief. That is the belief. That belief should be there. And that belief, Master says, that belief, you are listening constantly, learning constantly, applying this knowledge into daily practice, will naturally build the faith. You go to your house every day, so there is already a belief that this is your house. Same repetition. Understand the same repetition. One day you did not react to your honey, you will feel so happy inside, I can tell you. And then you repeat it again. You are finding an opportunity to remain, to respond, not to react. Applying the principles of inner treasures. Oh, you will see, oh, my intellect is totally free, my mind is totally free. But before that, I was thinking about honey with the likes and dislikes, reaction, anxiety, duality, and conflict. How should I do? Why should I do? Where should I do? Come on, drop all this. That is the power of faith. The fifth treasure. So Master, last point, Master says, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan, Samadhi. Last time we talked about the first word of the first chapter, the first sutra of Patanjali. Ath means that now I am a seeker, which includes all these steps. Because they are written in zip files. How Patanjali is going to explain all that? So the master says, my master used it, Shravanam. You are listening and learning. Three elements, conscious element. Seeker is there, knowledge is there, the teacher is there. Now, teacher is physically absent. Knowledge is there and the seeker is there. That is contemplation. After listening, let me start thinking in the way masters are thinking. That is what masters are pleading. You will say 90% of our great masters are anonymous. We can make out an inference based on their writing. Oh, this master might have written. Upanishads, majority of the authors they did not care to write their name because it's a revealed knowledge. So how the revelation will take if I put the intellect in front to gain the right knowledge, that is what the contemplation. Contemplation and reflection to remove the doubt. We have a clarity, and once we have a clarity, intellect will naturally inspire you. The way the intellect, I'm linking it to something you may say worst, but that will prove my point. The intellect always inspires you to go to the restroom when you have an urge. You leave everything, don't you? Same intellect will inspire you even if you are fully busy. No, I have to do it. I am stressed. It is a wrong notion. Let me start contemplation. Oh, I have already a practice. Let me do the practice. The next moment you are changed. Next moment, the level, the intensity of your stress and suffering will drop. That is the power of faith. It is not a faith, I believe you, Stephen. And then I say I like you, Stephen, I dislike you. No, that doesn't work. Here, belief in the real self. Where it is? Here inside me. Knowledge passed on by the Eastern wisdom. Check it. And if you have that belief, I would say millions of wrong notions created by the mind moves in impulsive, instinctive nature will drop by itself. Power of dispassion. Ashok was saying, now I have started understanding what you mean to say. It comes. That's another topic. So keep that faith in yourself. So let us start our practice now. Practice. Now eyes are closed. Body is steady. I've been repeating it again. Don't take it subconsciously, impulsively, but consciously, my friends. What? Body is steady means comfortable. And then body is steady, mind is facing within, and mind is facing within. Eyes are closed gently. Why I said eyes are closed gently? Let it happen naturally. Fold your hands in Namaste Mudra. Namaste is also known as Mudra. The tip of the thumb is touching mentally the sternal notch, and you symbolize 5 sense organs. We use the word sensory control. No, it is not a control. It's a free movement of the senses from outside to inside at the center of the palm. Leaving all the motor organs means what? Look at the understanding and the wisdom. Leaving all the motor organs you are symbolizing with your left 5 fingers means what? Have you ever thought of it? If you contemplate and reflect, you will find it is steadiness of the body. If the motor organs are not working, you are consciously aware of all of them, the body tends to be steady. Sense organs are not going outside, then it is moving at the center of the palm, looking into the space with all humility. You remind real self. That is the goal. That is the discovery. Leave aside whether you like me or don't like me. You are a seeker. So real self is self-independent, self-evident, self-luminous, of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love and wisdom. You see, just by knowledge, I'm talking to you, it makes your mind so calm. Can't we have a belief in our own real self? A very simple point, my friends. Our mind is searching something, permanent happiness. Do you believe the mind that is searching permanent happiness? It means this mind has a faint idea about it. It does not know. That's what we are knowing. What we do? I have a lot of stress, I have been suffering. Continue to suffer then. To replace that, look inside. Look inside the heart. Reflect on this. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be well-being. Everyone should be in the state of well-being. So when you reflect, what you will get? There is a state of well-being, independent. It does not depend on my body, my mind, my intellect. It is always there. One, and it is always there in every being. Two, it is a common element. You know why I open this topic? When you realize it is very much common in everywhere in every human being means what? The mind in the ego does not run after what is special in me. That mind starts melting. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for everyone. Do you see that peace is independent? Peace is present in every human being. Peace is independent because it does not depend on my body, my breath, my intellect, my likes and dislikes. That summarizes and forms an ego. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Ask gold is whole in itself. Iron is complete in itself. We feel a sense of incompleteness. That is why we have stress and suffering. Your mind should be tuned all the time. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Not only in me, but everywhere. That sense of completeness is there. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. So well-being, peace and completeness merged together. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness or happiness everywhere in all. You see, until now we did the knowledge practice. And see the state of your mind and the body. My friends, understand the power of knowledge coming from the Eastern wisdom. Simply by knowledge, you did nothing. You heard me, contemplated, reflected, your mind was tuned with the knowledge, and the result is this. That is why we being comfortable is our second step in the advanced journey. Look at the neck joint, care just now, yes, it's okay. Neck joint, sensation, comfort and steadiness. After that, there is a space and the namaste, done. Shoulder joints, you're walking. You know, the mind, which has a very millions of impressions of likes and dislikes, it says, okay, now I have to do the practice. But when you're walking the practice, it becomes a part and parcel of your life. We are moving in a very subtler way, deeper and deeper. So moving the mind on the shoulder joints, being there, sensation, comfort, steadiness, space, namaste, done. Entire body, from all the joints of the body, from the neck to the toes, reaching to sensation, comfort and steadiness. And then namaste. This is what we discussed today, applying the knowledge, translating that into practice. If I can simply allow the likes and dislikes to fly from my own mind, I can do it in real life situations also. And that leads us to being carefree, free from all the cares. I have explained you, I think, in more than 50 ways. What exactly is being carefree? Salesman, do you remember? Birds flying in the sky? You pick up anything. But if you have not contemplated and reflected correctly, these thoughts will not come to you. Then you will say, no, I'm not carefree. And that leads us to the third step. You see the logic, rational behind. So we continue with a quick, short, and the gentle breathing from the rib cage through both the nostrils, keeping your focus deep inside the head or the heart. Start breathing, quick, short, and gentle breathing. Continue, just continue. No stopping at all. No stopping means you know the dispassion. The mind lives into the dispassion, so it is not interested in listening to the likes and dislikes, any past impression. That is faith. That is faith. Faith is not that, I did it, but, my mind was not ready to do it. We had lot of those thoughts. Why? No clarity, wrong notion, delusion. Continue, my friend. Just it continues, unabated, it is unstoppable. What happens one day to the mind, that this mind will say, why few minutes, let me continue. And the result that you will experience inside is the freshness and a calmness for a temporary period. So in that state, we will go deeper. I'm also doing with you. Continue. And stop this. Check the flow of both the nostrils. If they are equal, even if the surface mind has a lot of thoughts, you are there. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Look inside the head or the body. Experience calmness and quietness. Flow of the nostrils more or less are equal, means they are fully open. Normally, one nostril is blocked. Even the science says that. But we relate this flow of the nostril is equal to the mind, the state of the mind. And now in that state, we have done a couple of times. We use the mantra Shantoham with the knowledge of infinite space during the retention of the breath, and that retention should not exceed 15 seconds, which is normal for all adult human beings. So we will inhale for 10 seconds. We will retain the breath for 15 seconds. During that period, we go deep inside saying Shantoham and merging into the infinite space, and then releasing the breath, checking that if the flow of the nostril is so calm that you don't even feel as if you have released the retention of the breath. Inhale, deep, silent, slow. Inhale. Retain the breath. Shantoham. Knowledge. Shantoham. Peace is infinite space. Shantoham. Release the breath. So after releasing the breath, do nothing. Why? To get something, some kind of a revelation in you. Now inhale, deep, silent, slow. Continue inhaling. Now retain the breath inside the heart. Shantoham. Shantoham. One time, two times, three times. Release the breath. You will see sometime you will miss the intellect is taken over by the mind. So intellect keeps that knowledge. The peace is like, I am the peace means that peace is like the infinite space. How easy meditation. Inhale, deep, silent, slow. Retain the breath. Shantoham. Knowledge, space. Shantoham. Knowledge of the space. Release the breath. When you release the breath becomes, allow the breath to be normal. Continue to be there. Awareness of the breath outside and looking deeper inside. So you will see there is a continuity of the peace or the infinite space. We are exploring why we feel the bodilessness. Inhale deeply. Continue to inhale. Deep, silent and slow. Stop this retention of the breath. Shantoham. 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 And knowledge. I believe you all understood that. Release the breath. When the intellect is not steady on the knowledge, the mind takes the unnecessary, unwanted benefit. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Just observe how the mind takes you away. And retain the breath inside. Shantoham. Knowledge, space. Shantoham. Release the breath. Inhale deep, silent and slow. 10 seconds. Continue to inhale. Retain the breath inside. Shantoham. Shantoham. Release the breath. You see, when we release the breath, we give minimum 30 seconds to maintain our awareness, that breath awareness outside, the space inside, kind of an absorption. How the thought will wander, will come. Look at the subtle aspect of this practice. And inhale, deep, silent, slow. Retain the breath. Shantoham. 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 Release the breath. Now the breath is normal. You are aware of the breath flowing outside. You are aware of the sensation, relaxation and stillness in the body. What else do we need from outside? Nothing. So, first milestone, look inside the heart. What is there is the space. Pick a point in the space. The moment you pick a point in the space, Shantoham, with the same knowledge, that space is like, that Shanti is like the infinite space. Then continue to move the mind within. One thing to understand, that we all are together have undertaking a conscious journey. What instructions I gave you, you know, the knowledge is there behind. It is not that close your eyes and do meditate. No. You know 100% what you are doing, and if you are doing while knowing, the result is always there. It has nothing to do with me or any teacher. So moving the mind inside, you know the mind is still moving, so you move it inside. What do you find? The space. Can you pick a point in the space? Yes. Shantoham. Another milestone. Continue with the milestone. Do nothing, remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down. So, how are you, Brandy?
I'm doing pretty good. That meditation for me was really steady, and the breathing was more accessible than it's been in a while, which was nice.
Beautiful.
In a word, I would just say steady. It was
Yeah, that
focused.
is steady and focused is sign of progress. How are you, Lara?
It was good and quiet for me until Eric, the last 2 minutes, started blaring the television. So I totally got pulled out early. But other than that, it was good.
Okay. Let the time come when the mind is not interested during meditation, neither in a person nor in television.
It was just got so loud that it was like this boom. I don't know what he's watching, so.
Thank him.
I was quiet.
Thank him. How are you, Jerry?
So it was good. I was lying down for this meditation, just for the neck is a little tight, so I just decided to lie down. And so the breathing was interesting from that position. And actually, I thought it might be a little challenging from that position, but it was effortless. So, and the mind was completely not focused really on the breath at all. So felt like I could go forever.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's a good point.
Just really appreciating the stillness within.
Beautiful. How are you, Terry? I don't see you. No worries. Take your time to open it. How are you, Stephen, in the meantime?
Terry's ready. She can go.
Okay.
I'm not really ready. I had a variety of experiences because my body was distracting me.
Okay.
But I think that I'm trying to understand how it's what I'm doing when it's like I'm doing it a different way than when I'm holding still. When I can't hold still, it's a different experience, and I'm trying to figure out how the lesson works in that situation.
Okay.
So I'm just continue to resist the negative forces that are working on me, but I like it much better when I have a peaceful one. I feel like I can go deeper, but then I'm not supposed to think about my likes and dislikes, so I was trying to figure that out.
Look at her wisdom, she reflects so beautifully. That's so wonderful. The more reflection you have, greater the change. How are you, Stephen?
I'm really good. Today's meditation, I would say, was a revelation. I've noticed over the past week, per se, of my ability to recognize the peace and happiness within myself, not just during this meditation, but in regular life.
Beautiful.
And what happened during today's meditation was just an experience that took place yesterday for me. I actually went to the beach, and I picked an area away from everybody, just really quiet, and I tried to just go to sleep and just enjoy my time alone. And all of a sudden, there's a family that parks real close to me. And then there's a group of girls that then park next to me, and they're the group of girls that have to talk louder than everybody else. And then I finally settled down, and I've got all this stuff going on in my mind. And then all of a sudden, I hear somebody playing patty cake and smashing their hands, and they're 5 feet from me, and they're two middle-aged adults playing patty cake with each other. And I was like, oh my God. And I said, all right. So I sat up and I went into meditation. And I just sat there and I said, I'm not going to allow this to bother me. And that's my revelation today, because that all went away. And I was again by myself on the beach with what I wanted to experience. And today's meditation was that aha moment for me that says, this is why I've had this peace and happiness in me, because I'm learning that it's up to me.
Beautiful.
And I control it, not someone else.
What a beautiful, you see, just a thought came to sense organ, mind, body complex. When, say for example, it hears any loud noise, like what Lara discussed, there is definitely an impulsive and instinctive response. That is one thing. But if I have a knowledge that is settles in the mind. That is what Stephen is talking, and what Terry was saying, that when we go beyond the likes and dislikes, so we can recognize a center inside that is unaffected. Outside, reaction, response to the sight, sound, touch, taste, etc., is there in the body, but I don't identify with my body. If the snake comes in front, my body has to jump. If it does not jump, then I'm not a living being. But it does not carry any effect in the higher state of the consciousness. I think I'm trying to make the things clear. From all the three, I reflected on what Lara said, what Terry said, what Stephen, and what Jerry said. So now coming to Vaibhav, how are you? We have a couple of more.
Sir, while doing the practice, keeping myself aware, awareness to that awareness, it's always like that. Now I know that if something is coming, I don't have to bother. So it was very peaceful. Keeping that my mind with that space, it was very easy and calm.
You see, another way to express it. So that is why we share the experiences. Oh, I have nothing to bother. Totally bother. And that used to happen, but it happened after 10 years. I have nothing to bother because I'm with my master. He has that knowledge. He has a solution for all my suffering. I have nothing to bother at all. So there are many ways. How are you, Christina?
Good morning. Thank you for that meditation guidance. I felt I heard you loud and clear in the beginning when you maybe said the incomplete knowledge or something that's incomplete equals to stress. And that's where I'm at, trying to figure out the incomplete things from my past. But it's okay because I could explain more later.
Yes, your voice is gone, maybe because of internet. Yeah, that's a good point to, yes, continue. Continue, we lost your voice. So, Antoinette, how are you?
I'm great. That was very feeling of comfort and deep relaxation, bodilessness, as you said. It was rejuvenating at the same time. So because I was so tired going into it, but now I feel very rested and re-energized.
Beautiful, beautiful, Antoinette. That's another good experience. How are you, Ashok?
Sir, I am good, and it was a very peaceful meditation, and watching thoughts basically was the main thing today. My mind was going out, then watching thoughts. It is coming to peace again. It's peaceful.
Thoughts are moving into my mind. I watch them. The moment I watch them, they are separate from me. So if you have that point of realization, they are separate from me, you are already free. So, yes. Yes, Christina, we lost you in the beginning. Yeah.
Sorry, my phone overheated. I'll be quick. So I just realized the, incomplete equals the stress in my current life. And towards the end, I had a lot of people coming in and out of my room, and I just let that be. And once you started the Om Shanti Shanti, I was not in my crown for the whole time. I felt that I'm always stuck up here, and I was completely absorbed.
at a lower level, and I felt it in my heart that I just let go the incomplete. I let go of the movements around me and people needing to talk to me, because I just need to be here and now. So thank you.
That's a very good point. The way the people move around you during meditation practice. Outside, same way these thoughts also move around in your head. You have to say goodbye, not interested. Not interested. So you see that belief has to be understood through knowledge, one part. And once there is a total clarity about it, then what happens? That belief also trigger a positive emotion. So belief has two elements. One is knowledge and the other is the emotion. So when I narrated the story of that great master who has now he crossed 100 million followers. So I meet his students everywhere, even in Arizona. Especially more Indian communities are his students. And but yes, all the communities are there. What unbroken faith in my master and his teaching helped me to answer and talk to that Britisher. All credit goes to the teacher and the knowledge and clarity and understanding. So you have nothing to do with anyone. You are not carried away by likes and dislikes, but you focus on what is the knowledge of the reality. With emotion, that is what the belief is. That is all for today. We will meet again. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
तो ठीक ठाक है सब प्रभु जी.